Hello and welcome to the race briefing video for Saturday's Greensand Country 50k. Thanks very much for signing up. Really looking forward to the race, and as always going to go through the sort of general information and things you need to know for race day here on this video. So thank you for watching. I'll keep it nice and short, just got a few things to cover. If you are a sort of seasoned Runaway Adventures participant, then you'll be very familiar with all of the following bits and pieces. But if you're not, welcome along, and yeah, thanks for being with us. So this is the third time we've run the Greensand Country 50k. Always done it on a Sunday before, so it's nice to have it on a Saturday. Give everyone a rest day on the Sunday and maybe have a few more beers after the run. So if you've not been to Shuttleworth before, the entrance is on the B658, the main road, and you come in via a kind of access road called Alder Drive. And once you turn onto that, it's about 1 kilometre. You go all the way down, you kind of turn a corner, you'll see a airstrip on your right hand side, and our field is going to be on the left hand side, and you can just come and go as you please. So if you're being dropped off or you've got spectators coming, it's really easy to get in and out. There's no one's going to be sort of ticketing you or anything like that. So you'll be directed where to park, which will be on the grass, and then you can walk over to the registration area, which is right next to it. So yeah, it's a really cool venue. If the weather's good, you're going to have airplanes landing and taking off all day, which is always quite fun to sit and watch. So arriving, we would say from 7:30 onwards. We'll be there much earlier, but yeah, I'd say 7:30 to 8:30 arrivals, and we're going to have registration open between 7:30 and 8:45, where you will need to pick up your wristband for the day. So we use these timing wristbands. You just whack that on your wrist. We'll be scanning that at a few of the checkpoints, not all of them, and then at the finish line to give you your time. And as always, you'll get a race number and safety pins and things like that. We've also got some paper maps that we'll give to you with the route marked, sort of a paper OS map, so you can use that in addition to the signage. And I'll cover all of the signage and things like that later on in this video. Race briefing, I'll do a very quick hello and just safety briefing just about 5 minutes before we start, and then 9 o'clock is race start, and you'll be heading off on a lovely anti-clockwise loop around all of the Greensand Country. If you want to have a sneak peek of the route, I've recorded a fly-through video which goes through everything. I'll link that in the description as well. Other thing to say on registration and sort of arrival is, if you already ordered a t-shirt, please can you pick that up after you finished rather than at registration. That would be really, really helpful. Please don't forget. But yeah, they'll be available at the kind of the shop that we'll be selling the t-shirts at as well. So yeah, pick that up after the event. We're going to have someone serving coffee all the morning, so if you're arriving a little bit earlier, yeah, you can grab a coffee and you can relax. We'll have some chairs, sit in a deck chair and drink a coffee while you wait. So that's everything arriving. Now, all right, mandatory equipment. So we did write on the mandatory equipment about whether you might need to bring a jacket or not. Obviously, the temperatures are looking very high, so we are not making the jacket mandatory. But what we would suggest is please carry, for example, like one of those foil blankets if you have one, or if you don't have that, whack a bin bag in your pack. And this is just in case that you have to stop and you're stationary on the trail for a little while and you will get cold regardless of the temperatures if you've been sweating, and that is just there as an emergency. So please just have some form of layer that you can put on in that emergency, but there's no need for one of these, big jacket for the temperatures that we're getting. Other mandatory equipment, so we need you to be carrying some sort of facility to carry water, so minimum 500 mils, so a soft bottle, or obviously I would recommend taking much more than that, so minimum 500 mils. And also to say, it's not mandatory, but if you want to be able to take fluids other than water into your soft pack or bladder, you're going to need a cup. So we're starting this year doing cupless races, so we don't chuck away hundreds of plastic cups at all the aid stations. If you need one of these, you can grab them on our website, runawadventures.com/shop. If you've pre-ordered one already, they will be given to you at race registration. So yeah, make sure you have some form of cup if you want to have Coke or the electrolyte drink in an actual cup rather than your soft flask. So yeah, the weather is looking very warm. There's still a chance of a little bit of rain, and you know, when the temperature's that hot, you never know in terms of things like thunderstorms. But yeah, it's going to be a hot day, so do prepare for that. You know, I would bring a hat. You know, these things aren't mandatory, but I would bring a hat, and you know, think about wearing plenty of sunscreen and things like that. In terms of other mandatory equipment, there isn't a lot else, but we do have a requirement that you need to have the route, either, you know, the paper map that we give you, or the route on your phone or your watch, just in case the signage on the day gets moved or you miss something, and you can use that as a backup. We're always checking the signage and it should always be perfect. But because this is a 50-kilometer race, that's a huge amount of trail, and we can't be everywhere all of the time. So we just ask you to bring that. So if anything goes wrong, you've got some way of working out where you are and where the route is, and you can get back on it as quickly as possible. So route information, it's 50k. Well, it's actually 50.2 kilometers with about 400 meters of elevation. So reasonably flat, but there are a few hills in there to tackle every now and again. We've got 3 checkpoints, which is at 14.3, 28.9 and 37.9, okay? So that's Haynes Village Hall, that's a car park in Shefford, and that is Broome Village Hall. All 3 locations, you can, if you want, to bring spectators to come see you through there. You're welcome to. There's enough space around to sort of park and things like that, but just be super respectful of the kind of small villages that we're in, and obviously be really careful of the runners coming in and out, and certainly don't stay there longer than you need to. Just a warning on Shefford, the car park that the checkpoint is in, you do need to pay to use that car park. So if you drive in, it's a camera system, so just be careful. It's £1 for 3 hours, but you will need to pay to use that car park if you're meeting anyone there. So those are the checkpoints. We'll have water, electrolyte, Coke as fluids. Then there's going to be mountain fuel gels. There's going to be some flapjacks, cheer charge bars. There's going to be plenty of sweets, jelly babies, things like that. We'll put out some bananas and orange slices. So hopefully, and yeah, a few salty things like, you know, lots of different types of crisps and things like that. So hopefully that's plenty to keep you going. But remember, always pack a little bit of nutrition for yourself as well, so you're not fully reliant on our aid stations. Navigation. So as I've said, yeah, getting around the route, we're going to be signing the entire route with our orange signage and orange ribbons. So let's have a look at the signage first of all. So they look like that, pretty obvious. They're going to be everywhere, pointing you in the right direction. Let me just grab some ribbons. Okay, so ribbons look like that. So those will be fastened to all sorts of places as well. So your primary kind of source of navigation is orange signage and orange ribbons. If you see any of these signs, that means there's a road crossing coming up, and there are a few sections where you are running along roads, normally on a grass verge, but you are running along a road without a pavement. Those will all be marshalled and you will be warned, but just be super careful at the point. If you're wearing headphones or anything like that, take them out, just be super aware of your situation. And there's sometimes going to be some wrong way signs as well. Obviously, if you see that, you've gone the wrong way, turn around and you'll eventually find a few meters back an orange sign pointing you in the right direction. Okay, so yeah, as a backup to that signage, as I said, we want you to, I'm going to give you the paper map, but I would really strongly advise you to get the GPS file uploaded to, say, OS Maps or Garmin or any of the different kind of, you know, free mapping softwares that you can download from the App Store. Just have it on there. I'll just put on the screen now where you can download the GPS. We've actually already uploaded it to Garmin, to OS Maps, and to Google Maps. So those are 3 ways you can easily sort it out without faffing too much. If you've got any problems accessing the route or you're not sure how to do it, let us know. You can send us an email and we will give you a hand doing that. But yeah, please get that sorted. As I said, it's just peace of mind for everyone knowing that, you know, if a piece of signage goes missing, then you can sort yourself out very, very easily. So of course, you know, the race is on public footpaths, so be really careful. Things like livestock, closing gates. If you see any horse riders, make them aware that you're passing at any point and slow down. And just be really respectful, of course, no dropping litter. Give everyone a smile and say hello to people. If for some reason you can't continue, then there will be marshals out on the course, and there are our 3 checkpoints. So that's the best place to finish your race if you can't get to the end would be at one of the checkpoints. We will, if we can, try and transport you somewhere else. But if you've got someone following you around, then we'd appreciate if you get them to pick you up. But if you can't get to a checkpoint or a marshal to kind of call it in, then there is an emergency number on your bib that you can call. That goes straight to race control, and someone will talk to you, and we will work out what the best way to get you rescued is. And we've got medics out on the course that can treat you and things like that. So yeah, any sort of emergency, there's a number there. And any sort of life-threatening emergency, of course, you know, there's always 999 as well. That's the first priority if you're dealing with anything that's sort of life-threatening, and then call our number as well. So that is always going to be on your bib. I'll put it on the screen now, make a note of that just in case that you need it. Okay, spectators, please invite as many people as you want to the finish line at Shuttleworth to cheer you in. We've got absolutely loads of space for parking and for milling around, and the coffee person's going to be there all day. There is a slight problem as I'm recording this video with the food at the finish line, where we may well have had our pizza supplier let us down at last minute. It's all going a bit crazy with emails at the moment. We're hoping that we will sort that out and there will be pizza for you at the finish, but if not, there is a cafe on site at Shuttleworth, so hopefully that's all sorted, but at the moment I can't promise either way, but we are working on it. We will be giving you, there is some free drinks at the finish line and a few free snacks just to keep you going, and we do have a bar on site selling some Mad Squirrel beer and some really nice sparkling wine as well. So yeah, take advantage of that. There will be a prize giving. This will happen about 2:30 for the top 3 finishers, and at that time any age category winners that have finished. And we're going to be joined by the chair of the Greensand country as well, which is really, really cool. Ali will be giving out the prizes, and there'll be a photographer taking some photos, and there will be a photographer out on the course earlier in the day as well. So when you see David, give him a smile. Try not to look at the floor, and yeah, those will all be available to freely download after the race, normally within 24 hours or so. The results are always available at runawayadventures.com/results. As you go across the finish line and you get scanned, within about 30 seconds your time will be up there, so you can always check that. And as you go through the checkpoints as well, that will update the leaderboard too. So I believe we're going to be scanning you in at checkpoint 1 and checkpoint 3, maybe all of them. We need to decide that, but yeah, there will be a few timing points on the course just to keep an eye on where you all are. And then in terms of cut-offs, so there are no kind of official cut-offs at checkpoint 1, but we will be keeping an eye on checkpoint 2 and checkpoint 3 so that everyone is going to make that 9-hour finish, which would be 6 p.m. I can't remember the exact times off the top of my head, so I will write the checkpoint 2 and checkpoint 3 cut-off times on the screen at the moment. You need to be past those checkpoints at that time in order to give you enough time to get to the finish for 6 p.m. If anyone is significantly behind that, just from a safety perspective, we will ask you to stop at that point, because we won't be able to support you medically and from a marshalling perspective after 6 p.m. So yeah, just keep an eye on those times for those of you that need to. And there we go. So yeah, that is the briefing. I hope you've sort of enjoyed listening to that, and it's so much better doing it now on video than spending 15 minutes at 8:30 on race day to go through everything. So guys, thanks very much for signing up. Really, really appreciate it. It's going to be a superb day on Saturday. We will see you down there.